Hello, my little Luxxxy. It is I, Charsie Luxxx, and I am out in the great wild yonder with my hubby.
Hello.
And, I don't know what the hell this is. I guess this is going to be Luxxxy Charms. But, so, it's probably one of the last beautiful days. So we have 70-degree weather in northern Illinois. And my entire idea for today was that I was going to give my movie review for the movie Red Riding Hood. And spur of the moment, I unfortunately, literally spur of the moment, put it on my husband. Hey, would you be opposed to going for a walk and we'll just record while we're walking?
You know, I get home from work, have this whole plan, and then no.
I'm sorry. You're making me seem like a bad person.
It's fine. Just had to readjust my plans.
But look at this nature and that sun and
I get it.
I swear I'm not a bad person.
No, she's not.
I just force him to do things he doesn't want to do.
There's a difference between one and getting my plans set up.
Yes, so my poor hubby, it was going to be a big sweetheart. It was going to clean house. And
yeah, got home from work early. I was like, I'll go home. I'm still in work mode. I'll start cleaning, take my time. She's going to record, so I have all the time in the world. I'll play some games. Hey, let's go for a walk and record. Oh, okay, well, that changes my entire plan.
So, today, we are doing, or I should say, you might just be hearing the crunching of the leaves. Another ASMR video. So today, we are both wearing red hoodies to be representational. Words. What are words? And lots of sticks. Ooh, don't trip.
Or trip.
To represent for this month's theme of
and
hey
Pluto
there.
Is still a planet.
Yes, Pluto is still a planet.
Well, it says revolve in peace 1930 to 2006.
Pluto is still a planet, damn it. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this month's theme of Hey There, Little Red Riding Hood. So we are in our hoodies to represent, hey, and we're in the woods, so.
No, I thought we were on the ocean again.
And I saw a coyote on the way home last night, so. But we will revolve this around, and I will start my quick movie review of Red Riding Hood. AmandaSeyfried as Valerie, Lucas Haas as Father Augusta, GaryOldman as Father Solomon, Billy Burke as Cesare, or Valerie's father, Shiloh Fernandez as Peter, Max Irons as Henry, Virginia Madsen as Suzette, or Virginia's mother, Julie Christie as Godmother, Shauna Kane as Roxanne, Michael Hogan as the Reeve, Adrian Holmes as Captain, Cole Heppel as Claude, Christine Wills as Madame Lazar, and Michael Shanks as Adrian Lazar. Director is Catherine Hardwick, and writer is David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. And as always, I apologize if I butchered anyone's pronunciation of their names. Well, we're going to see if Archanon trips and falls, especially when we go through the hills. I don't know how this is going to go. So, Red Riding Hood is technically a horror film. That's how they labeled it anyways in IMDb. But it's from 2011. But I would deem Red Riding Hood more as a thriller and mystery romance type of film. For years I had wanted to see this film. I mean, I always butcher her last name, but AmandaSeyfried is in this film, and she's one of my favorite actresses. And she's the main character, of course. She is technically Little Red Riding Hood, and she plays the character of Valerie. Now, obviously, I'm going to do a voiceover at some point before this, and you'll know it's the voiceover due to the fact you're not going to hear the crunching of the leaves. So, the plot synopsis for Red Riding Hood is that this town, a really small town that's at the edge of the woods, is being plagued by a curse of a werewolf. But for centuries, they have appeased the werewolf of this town by doing a monthly sacrifice. And so they basically have this little truce that as long as they're giving their best livestock once a month for the full moon, that they would be safe. Unfortunately for them, during the blood moon, things change, and the first death in years, or as they would put it, in decades, happens when Valerie's character, who's played by Amanda, her sister ends up getting killed by the werewolf. And nobody knows what she was doing out, since, you know, rules say they're supposed to be at home for the wolf moon. So for the town, they, of course, decide that they're going to retaliate since the werewolf broke its truce and it had killed Lily. I believe the character is Lily. I don't have notes in front of me since we're out in nature. So, since the werewolf broke its truce, the town decides that they're going to get a hunting party and they're going to go out after this werewolf. So since they decided to get this party together to go hunt the wolf, or hunting party I should say, and they didn't get enough people to band together to hunt this wolf because everybody's afraid. So in going, they end up finding this wolf at this cave where he's supposed to be located at. But unfortunately, one of the people ends up passing away. I guess I should bring up another important part to the storyline, which is that this is a love triangle. So Valerie's character is caught in the middle of a love story with two men, where she's in a love story with Peter, which is kind of funny because Peter's kind of a spin-off on the old story of Peter and the Wolf. So you kind of got Little Red Riding Hood and Peter and the Wolf kind of mixed together. And Henry. But, so she's been in love, oh, there's a thorny thing there. She has been in love with Peter for years, and they've been good friends. But her family has arranged for her to marry the rich blacksmith of the town named Henry. Now, mind you, Henry's a good guy, so it's not like one of those things where, oh, you're gonna hate Henry's character. No, Henry's actually a good guy. But it's Henry's father who, unfortunately, is the one who ends up getting killed by the werewolf. But the town ends up catching this wolf, and so in their minds, they have vanquished the werewolf. Well, the town, I want to say it's the town minister, priest of their town, their little town, had reached out to the local man that was famous for killing werewolves. And around a tree we go. And so he calls out to this guy who's called Father Solomon, and he's famous for his group. We'll call them a group of jolly hunters. Now, they're not jolly at all, but they travel from town to town to kill werewolves. Well, Father Solomon, you see him finally come into the village after they think they have vanquished and killed the wolf. Well, Father Solomon starts explaining to them that the werewolf is still there and he's actually among them. Because when a werewolf dies, they change back to their human form. And this wolf they killed never reverted back to a human form, stayed as a wolf, a dead wolf. well, of course, no one wants to believe Solomon. The village wants to be prideful and that they got this wolf, blah, blah, blah. So Solomon basically tells them, you will see that the wolf is among you. And he, of course, tells his story of how he became a werewolf hunter because his wife had been a werewolf and didn't know for years until the day she had murdered his best friend. So you go into the story and the plot line that Solomon and his men take over this little village, and obviously he basically quarantines the little town and nobody is allowed to leave. So this provokes the werewolf, who is, of course, one of the villagers, which he had explained to them. He's like, you guys need to know and obviously realize that a werewolf has human form. So, being locked in the village, obviously, the werewolf's not happy about that. The village, after they find out that the werewolf is real, it makes itself known to Valerie's character. And Valerie realizes that she has some kind of a special tie to this werewolf because she can understand it, whereas nobody else can hear it talk. So then you get the mystery of how is she connected to this werewolf, and are all these deaths her fault somehow? Now, obviously I'm not going to give away too many spoilers or give away who's the werewolf, but I can give away some of the fun facts from the film, which come to find out that a lot of the characters, because of the fact that one of the situations that happens is that Valerie, when she's speaking with the werewolf, it reveals its eyes to her, his human eyes. So she sees that he has dark brown eyes. Now, everyone in the film, except for Amanda's character, Valerie, has brown eyes. So Valerie's character obviously is the blue eyes. But, so in order to create more mystery of who is the werewolf, even people who didn't have brown eyes, they had them wear brown contacts. So that even included her grandmother. So that was a fun thing that created to the mystery. So a lot of the spoofs, when you think of the old Little Red Riding Hood stories and the famous lines of, why grandma, you have big eyes. Why grandma, you have really big ears. So I do like that they had that for the actress who played her grandmother, that she wore brown contacts, so that it just kind of added to the mystery. So Red Riding Hood, I wouldn't technically label it as a horror film, but it does have a lot of horror elements, but it is filmed with like a dark tone. There are a lot of kills in this one as well. But I wouldn't label it as scary, or at least in my usual dark horror tone, I wouldn't label this one as a scary one. And since this one technically is centralized around a romance story, I have heard several people talk before that, and just recently too, from my buddy Mikey, so hey Mikey, that they weren't sure if they wanted to watch this movie because it was the same director who had done Twilight. Which it does make sense, knowing that, but it feels like it was done better, because I'm not a fan of Twilight. Not a fan at all. I've even given it plenty of chances, but...
She has, not me.
But I like Red Riding Hood. And I love the cast in this one, because Father Solomon is Gary Oldman, and I apologize if our ASMR of crunching leaves is way too loud.
I don't know about you, I'm walking softly here. You're the one shuffling your feet.
I always shuffle when I walk.
Pick your feet
Fine,
up.
I will pick my feet up like this. So you have Gary Oldman, who is Father Solomon, and I guess one of the few kind of spoilers I can give, well, I mean, obviously I want to have a spoiler warning at the beginning of this. I won't reveal who the werewolf is, but this one's kind of one of those movies where you kind of got to think, like, who's the true bad guy? Is it man? Is it beast? Because we technically have two villains in this film, and it's the werewolf and Father Solomon. So yes, Father Solomon was called in to help this village and help these people. But, oh, plane. That's cool.
He's probably landing over there. He's right there.
We do
Somewhere.
have
There he
a
is.
small airport on the other side of this nature reserve.
Why do I not see him in here?
He's all the way over there on the other side of the trees.
He was so low, I think I was aiming too high.
Like, did you see him at all?
Oh yeah, I saw him, but...
So, Father Solomon obviously is called to help this village, but they do the typical thing where they come in, they bully everyone, and basically start labeling people as witches, start accusing others of being a werewolf, and he's not a good guy. But yeah,
we all know Gary Oldman is a great bad guy.
oh
Fifth
my
Element.
god, Gary Oldman is an amazing bad guy. And obviously he's phenomenal as Dracula. And he is one of those jack of all trades where it's like, you almost don't recognize him because he is a master of disguise. And obviously he's in Harry Potter. So this cast is phenomenal. Obviously, like I said, with the voiceover, I'll be going over the cast and crew in that. Me just talking about the cast and the crew and letting you guys know just how remarkable this cast was. Now, obviously, thoughts on the film. I really enjoy this film. I like this one. It's, yes, very romantic, but it has one of those endings that you don't expect. It was an unexpected ending, but it needed to end the way that it did end. It was, especially for a retelling of the famous story of Little Red Riding Hood. And obviously, if you don't know the story of Little Red Riding Hood, I'm getting ready to be in the process of, I'm pretty sure when I get my ghost story that I'm going to find the Grimm story of Little Red Riding Hood, because I'm pretty sure that's where Little Red Riding Hood came from. It was a Grimm story.
Most fairy tales of that
And
were Grimm stories at some point, and then got, you know, it's got to be safe for kids because that never happened.
Well, no, they were moral stories.
Yeah, back then.
They were made, back in the day, stories were made to scare the shit out of children to make them behave. So, nobody worried about anybody's feelings back in the day. Obviously, with the cast and crew of this film, they make the movie. I loved the creation of the dark tones with the camera work. Everything was filmed basically in an enclosed studio. I'm trying to remember on IMDb when I was reading the trivia on that. I think they said that for 2 months they filmed in Vancouver.
Yeah, you said Vancouver.
And what's interesting is that it's supposed to be filmed in the wintertime. Well, obviously it wasn't in the wintertime when they filmed this. So they had a lot of fake snow. So it's cool seeing like behind the scenes when you can see that they have the fake snow everywhere. But I mean, obviously you can tell because nobody's breath is showing, which is the dead ringer that's not cold. Obviously, I recommend this film to anybody that enjoys a good romantic horror movie. I would label this one more along the lines of the idea like Jawbreaker. It's labeled as a horror movie, but it does not feel like a horror movie. This one's more thriller, action, with some really good kills, and you've got a really awesome looking werewolf. And that was the big thing about this one, was I really like the look of the werewolf in this film. The werewolf is awesome. So if anything, I recommend it, especially to watch this time of year. It's getting close to the winter season. It's filmed in a woods like this, but it's during the winter time. Well, fall to winter, however you want to put it. Well, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up for you. And thank you so much for coming out with me, Archanon, and recording for me, even though you wanted to clean the house.
Yeah, you know, for another day for that, I guess.
But I mean, come on, being outside.
I absolutely love being
fresh
outside.
air. So much better than cleaning. Yeah.
Very much. Very much better.
But I want to thank you guys for joining us here on another Luxxxy Charms. And you can find me on my other social medias, for my Twitter for Charsie Luxxx with 3 X's, or on my Instagram for Charsie87, or on my other YouTube channel with my friend DC for a little channel of horrors. And you can find Archanon on his Twitter for Archanon Bullrun. Volrune. I forget. It's rune, like a rune, because it's Nordic.
Yeah, it's just Volrune. It's just the way I'd rather say that one.
But we want to thank you guys. And as always, we hope you have a great rest of your day, great rest of your afternoon, rest of your evening, rest of your night, whatever time of the day it is. We
have a good one.
Hope you have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
I tried to take this so seriously, and it's so weird. How do people do this? Anywho, I don't want you to fall, though.
I'll be fine.
Oh, God. Well, you can start.
I already have.
Oh. Trying to think of the right word to use. Well, you try not to trip.
I'm good. We're still here.
Ooh, butterfly.
Baby, come with me.
Stop.
And I'll run into something anyway.
I just don't want you to fall down the hill, baby.
For your sake, I'll switch.
Thank you. Please do not trip on that.
That would do nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
You would have felt that fall. Bloopers. Elephants get furs all over.
Oh yeah, I've definitely walked into some stuff.
So, I'm not tripping. I'm just watching you in those holes. That's what she said.